Okay, in Phase 1, Position 2, we're talking about batter's box position. There's about 4 real overview points I want to make about this. Number one, generally as a player comes in to an instructional setting, I have found that about 95% of them are really crowding the plate, because typically most players are one-dimensional before they are taught how to expand across the strike zone mechanically and with a proper approach. So what happens is you'll find that most of the kids are going to be right on top of the plate, whether it's softball players or baseball players, either one. They generally crowd the plate because they, again, are one-dimensional. Now, one of the other things that I want you to notice, too, that's important is the fact that body type sometimes has a lot to do with where you want to position a player. And so a kid that's a big kid who's got long, gangly arms, of course, probably want to get them off the plate even just to begin with, because they're going to get jammed a lot on the inside part of the plate. And so body type and size and style, that's going to play a little bit into it after you kind of review where this player is. And again, typically most of them start right on top of the box. But I think the third point that really is more important than any of them is a player's mechanical ability. And as you begin to expand the player's ability to get to more of their strike zone consistently with some pop on it, you're going to want to gradually move that player more off the plate, because of the fact that the confidence has now been put in place to be able to not only get the middle pitch, but the middle away pitch. And that, of course, that's what we want ultimately, is to be able to get a player to be able to get a broader part of their strike zone, as much of their strike zone, with consistency and with a little pop on it. And that's our goal. And so part of being able to do that requires that we do get a hitter off the plate a little bit more, because if they do become very good outer half hitters, then there's going to be the tendency for people to throw the ball in on them, and they're going to get jammed. And so if you can keep off the plate, a little bit more off the plate, obviously we think that you're going to be able to get that extension point to that part of their strike zone more consistently, and that's really, really very important. So I think as a grade, if we're talking about grading them now for the grade tracking sheet, I'm going to think that I'm going to probably score them more negatively because of the fact that they've crowded the plate, and I'm going to have a tendency to score them more positively as they move off of the plate a little bit more than from their origin or their original point, because that would be proof that they have been able to begin to have some success, and they have evolved somewhat as a hitter towards their ability to execute to that broader part of their strike zone. So positively off the plate, probably a little more negatively if they're coming in and they're just right on top of the plate. We want to expand that, of course, by getting their bodies away from the plate. But of course, we've got to teach them how to be in the right positions to do that. So those are some of the key points of batter's box position, I think, that are important for parents and coaches as they begin to work with a player.